Okay, looks like we are now live streaming on Facebook. And happy Friday, June 20th, PSWs and friends across Ontario and Canada for those watching. My name is Miranda Romanowicz. I'm CEO of the Ontario PSW Association and host of PSW podcast where we come to you guys live every Friday at 11 a.m. to talk about issues pertaining to personal support workers. I'm joined once again today by my right hand guy, the right side of my brain, my chief operating officer, Ian DaSilva. And today we're going to be talking about insurance. And why are we going to be talking about insurance for PSWs? Because we've seen a lot of concerning information that has been circulating out there of common beliefs, myths about PSWs and insurance. Hey, Ian?
Absolutely. It's really concerning.
Very concerning. It's I'm just going to jump right into it, I think, at this
Jump
point.
right
So
in.
yeah, so
Absolutely.
so I think at this point, PSWs, if you're members of our association, you automatically get a $2 million professional liability insurance and 50,000 abuse coverage. And there's a reason why we've done that. The reason being is doctors and nurses and OTs and NPs and anybody else that works in the healthcare field has professional liability insurance, or what people like to call it, medical malpractice, because we all watch American TV. So that's literally what it is medical
Yeah,
malpractice.
exactly.
So if something goes wrong on the job, you are protected. We've talked about this many times, but what I'm seeing in the first one I'm going to we just talked about again was the most concerning to me, and that was somebody we put an ad, a cool AI video about insurance and why you need it, and somebody had written on there, "Well, we don't need insurance because we're unregulated, and as an unregulated healthcare worker, we can't get in trouble if we do something wrong." And this person was very adamant that this
Yes.
was true, even
Mhm.
fought with us on that fact. Um, well, concerning.
Very concerning.
Yeah,
Very concerning. It's to the point where if you believe you're unregulated and therefore you're not responsible for anything, two alarm bells go off. First of all, that means you're not really taking your patient care model seriously. You're not providing patient care because you don't take it seriously. And you're also not taking your role as a PSW terribly seriously because you don't believe that your actions could have any negative consequences on you and that essentially those PSWs are incapable of error. That's what this says. They cannot make mistakes. So I'm good. And there's no such person in the world like that. None.
there's no such, and to think that, I mean, and guys, I'm just going to be blunt. I don't care who says this to you. I don't care if it's your DOC, your union, your fellow PSWs, your uncle's cat's babysitter's fish's
Yeah.
neighbor. Like I don't care who's saying it to you. We're
Using
telling you as your professional association that you can and will be held liable
absolutely.
in the court of law if you do something wrong as a PSW. Ian and I have been privy to more than our fair share of court cases that do involve personal support workers, where the PSWs have been charged, accused of abuse,
Yep. Criminal.
criminal. And in one case that sticks in my mind is, I mean, you think you can't, and you said this the other day, you brought it back up again, Ian. You think you can't get dinged, and then we remember that story about the PSW who worked in long-term care. And what was it again? An activation aide saw.
Through the window. What
Yeah.
happened was the PSW was bedside, providing care for the individual. The recreation aide was getting into her car and through the window in the daytime saw the PSW, which she believed was causing assault. She left, she went into
Blinds, right? With blinds. There was
with blinds.
blinds.
She saw
Yeah.
through the blinds. The PSW was adjusting the pillow. The rec aide said the PSW was causing assault. The PSW was charged for the assault. They were arrested, taken from their homes, and put into jail while they were arrested and detained. The rec aide insisted this happened. There was no evidence that this happened, but on the word of a recreational aide, that PSW had $70,000 in bills. Was she a member of the OPSWA? No. She begged us to join retroactively. We weren't able to do that because that's illegal.
Well, we can't do that.
No,
It's absolutely is illegal.
it's
You can't
completely
have
illegal.
something happen to you and then come running to us and say, help me, help me.
No, and no association can do that, which is why we're so strong on pushing on making people aware that you need to take individual responsibility for your actions,
Yeah.
regardless of what you're hearing on the job site from your supervisors, from your delegators,
Yep.
your employers, and from family and friends. It makes no sense to not protect yourself. You don't drive without car insurance.
It's really scary. And people think, I think a lot of times PSWs hear this stuff and they think, we're making this up. We're not making
No,
this
no.
up. That's the whole reason we got insurance and made it mandatory as a part of the association, was to protect you guys. I mean, doctors and nurses get it. They
Yep.
have to have it. As a PSW, you should have it as well. And just because we're not, regulated, just because we're not, in that realm of doctors and nurses, as a lot of you guys seem to think we're not.
You should have it as well.
I think it's one of those situations where you have to take care of yourself first. You don't get a car and not get car insurance and then suddenly get into an accident and then go and try to get car insurance. Would you get car insurance? No, they wouldn't give it to you. They'd laugh you out the door, right?
Yeah, and I think we want to also communicate, and I think this is the thing, is that the population the profession of personal support workers is absolutely going to be changing in Ontario. The that ability to hide behind a delegation act or thinking that you're protected by your supervisor, we beg you, please do not believe that, because
The employer.
employers.
Do you
I
know that PSW that got named in a class action suit with a very large long-term care giant in a long-term care home? This PSW believed full-heartedly, oh my God, the employer's going to support me. I don't have to get a lawyer. I'm fully protected. That PSW lost everything. And we're not doing this webinar to scare the crap out of you guys. I hope we are scaring you a little bit because you need to ensure that you're protected. We're doing, like, PSWs do the most personal care to the most vulnerable people in Ontario.
and
Why
also
wouldn't we need it?
pay attention to what like our PNs are doing and RNs are doing right now. They're very much pushing the same thing we are. Protect your membership by encouraging them to get professional liability insurance. It's baffling that PSWs consider themselves immune from this, that they're not a part of that.
Mm.
So we're almost like begging, please be aware of the risk that you are taking on. It doesn't matter where you get professional liability insurance from. Also, this is not go join OPSWA or else. Go look into the options. There are other companies that offer it. It can be expensive, but you must and really should be looking at getting that. It's you at the end of the day, the only people that will protect you is you. And taking agency over your own life is the way to do it. So
I mean, never say never, right? I
never say
mean,
never.
never say it's not going to happen to you. You never know. You can go into work in long-term care one day and you know,
You can.
like, you never know what's going to happen. You walk into a shift one day and suddenly you have an older person who's sundowning, who has dementia, and they punch you and they fall. Well,
Yeah.
guess what? They're not in trouble for punching you. You're in trouble for them falling and hurting themselves, right?
Yes.
So there are some questions here I see, Ian.
Oh,
Linda asked, so are you telling me I should have personal insurance when I graduate? You should have personal liability, professional liability insurance, which is covered under the association. You don't have to join us though, but you can source it out with your own brokers or insurance companies as well. Absolutely, you should have this upon graduation before you go working as a PSW. Absolutely.
oh, our shout out to college professors who recommend this too. Your college professor who's teaching you your course should be recommending as well that you get professional liability insurance before you graduate. I would be very surprised if there were college professors out there that are not recommending that. So if there's any college professors, please remember to recommend it because it is part of the interprofessional team and it is needed. It is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we have here, Jane asked, What is your fee for liability insurance? I have purchased private insurance for my private work, but I'm not sure that protects me for my work in long-term care. I don't know whether or not it would protect you because I don't know your insurance policy. However, our insurance or the association covers you in any job you work at. So it protects the PSW. It goes with you from employer to private care to employer to wherever you go. Our cost for a PSW membership is $19.99 a month plus tax, or it's $185 a year plus tax. So, and remember, when you have insurance, and I said this the other day, Ian, to somebody, and they were blown away. I said, when you have insurance through the association with a part of your membership, it's all tax deductible.
Yes.
Your
So to your
insurance,
point,
apart
yes.
from this, is not tax deductible.
No, if you were to buy from a company outside of OPSWA, you would have to pay out of pocket and you don't get the deny. But yes, you're absolutely correct. The insurance is deductible through the professional membership.
Yeah. Which I
It's
mean is also an added bonus, right?
no, it is. And PSWs are a lot of them making more money there. They should be able to take this into consideration. And it's just we really are worried about the exposure risk that people are having right now, and they are very confident that they don't need it. Um, So yeah, and that other point, Miranda, this follows you from employer to employer. So the employers that say you don't need insurance, the employers that say you don't need this stuff, they're saying that because they don't want you to know what powers or what responsibilities or what role you really should be playing. They want to keep you at your employment safe and sound and ignorant is the word. They want to
Ignorant.
keep you ignorant. They don't want you to know that this is something you need. And if there's something criminal, excellent. You don't have any professional liability insurance. We can simply terminate your contract and move on with our lives. Cheaper for our private premiums. If you think
Nice.
that employers don't do that, you are kidding yourselves. Employers are not friends. They're not family. They're employers. Their objective is to maintain responsibility to their board of directors and ensure that their operational budgets are maintained and maintained correctly. If this conflicts with that, if an error by PSW conflicts with that, do not make the mistake of thinking that your employer will back you to the hilt. It is extremely rare.
Yeah.
They will terminate contract to protect themselves from the liability from a mistake they told you to make.
Yep,
So
we've
remember,
seen it. We're
you've seen
coming
it.
from a
You've seen
place
it.
that we've seen it, guys. Like this is we're not just saying these things as they're like, AI generated examples. These are actual examples that we are giving you that have actually happened and are currently happening.
Yeah,
And really interesting, Jane just came back and mentioned she's paying 900 a year for her professional liability insurance.
yeah. That's a
And
lot.
our professional liability insurance is 185 plus tax, which comes
Well,
to 209 something. And it gives you not just insurance, it gives you a host of benefits along with that.
but for Jane, well
Unbelievable.
done for getting professional liability insurance in the first place. Yes, you're
Yeah.
paying, but you're doing the absolute correct professional thing, and kudos to you for that.
Yeah.
When that policy expires and if you're looking to join the opposite, please don't hesitate to do so.
Yeah. Please come save money with us.
Um, but yeah, no, it's that. Yeah, we because we have a lot of PSWs that we represent, we're able to get an insurance rate. We have the primary PL insurance for PSWs across Canada, and our insurance is generally right across the country. So you're not just practiced in Ontario, you can also work in other provinces because we are developing a national passport system that we're looking at. So a little bit more, that's for another time. But back to the insurance we really wanted to make today about really, you got to protect yourselves, you got to protect your families, and we're here to help you.
Spread the word amongst your colleagues as well. Like we said, there are so many misinformation, so much BS that's coming out of some PSW's mouths, and I can say that as a PSW myself, that it's just not true. It's just not true. So I hate to tell you guys, but your union will back you, but they won't protect you.
Yeah,
Your
that's true.
employer might back you, but they're not going to protect you. At the end of the day, it's everyone out for themselves, right? Everybody's out for themselves. And
It-
so you need to be out for yourself. Support
exactly.
yourself. Protect yourself.
Unions play an enormously important role
Oh
in
yeah.
history and in Canada and Canadian history, and they will continue to do so. And your union should be, if you have a union, good. I mean, absolutely, that's wonderful. It'll protect you at your job. Those are the ones you go to if you have an issue with that employment. If for some reason you choose to leave that employment, that's where your association model kicks in, and we go with you to make sure you're advocating for. And your insurance comes with you as well. It's not linked to any employer, which is the concern that we see a lot. On the plus side, I mean, it's on ending on a very good note. It's good to see so many PSWs getting together because the profession is maturing to the point where we are now able to continue to offer these programs and opportunities for PSWs across Ontario and Canada. And we really owe the PSWs a debt of thank you because you guys are really pulling yourselves together. It's wonderful to see.
So, and being a PSW graduate of 2006, and when I came out into the field as a PSW, I mean, there was nothing. There was absolutely nothing for PSWs, and we were viewed as a replaceable worker. The invisible worker, the replaceable one, where there was, where there was one Miranda, there was 10,000 other Mirandas that they could replace us with. But because of, pandemic and because of the advocacy of the association and the strong voices of
Support.
PSWs on the front line and the support of the PSWs, we've been able to really make you guys a strong voice by you guys making us a strong voice. That's what it's all about. It's not just Ian and I. It's
No,
you guys backing us. But it's amazing now to see how PSWs are getting funding, and there's money that are going into the frontline worker across Canada in different provinces. It's happening everywhere. It's truly something. It's historic. It's never happened. And so you guys should be really proud of that.
absolutely. We are. We're proud of every PSW that joins us and that we work with. You guys are remarkable.
I'm
Which
just
is
gonna
why we're
say,
so emphatic about insurance.
oh my God. You know what, guys? That's the last phone call Ian and I ever want to get is from one of our members stating that they need us because they've been charged or convicted or something along those lines. I mean, we just don't want that for you guys. We want you to be able to, defend yourself without losing your livelihoods, because you could lose everything if you don't have insurance.
And this the cruelty it imposes, because I mean, you could have this PSW, he could have gotten it, she could have gotten it very easily, this insurance, and to confront this person after the issue in the parking lot crying because they now are probably going to lose their home, but at least they're not going to jail. And all of this could have been preventable had she simply bought the $185 membership, but that she said, I don't need this. My boss has my back. Now she's in debt $70,000, but she's free. So
Yeah.
we again, it's just one of those things where our population, our PSW profession is maturing. It's doing great, but please look into this. We'll do
Absolutely. And make sure you pay attention to upcoming events and things that we post.
Yeah.
And because it's important that you guys know what's going on in the PSW profession. It's easy to get lost or siloed, for a lack of a better term, in the different places that you work and not pay attention to what's actually happening on the front line for your profession when it comes to government or policy or, legislation or whatever. But it's important that you guys know what's going on. So on a good note, though, we are, because of demand, we're coming out with more swag. So the association in the
Yes.
coming weeks are going to be launching some more PSW swag exclusive for PSWs. So stay tuned for that. What was really cool though is we actually put out our keychains. We have a PSW keychain and an OPSWA keychain, and I think they're about to get raced over to me so I can show you guys here live on camera.
I like them. They're good.
My husband's running them over to me. But these are so stupid cool. And the really awesome part about it. So and they're stuck. So here's the PSW one. Here's a black one of PSW. I don't know if you can see that. PSW, it's
Very good.
backwards because of my camera, but PSW.
Okay.
And and here's the OPSWA one. And the cool thing is what we've done, what Nicole and I have done is with our badge, we've actually hung it with our badge for OPSWA. But these are a hot commodity, Ian. Like these are hot commodities, these PSW keychains. Like everybody wants a PSW keychain. And you know what? They're $5, and that includes your shipping anywhere you are. And you can, promote your PSW pride, which I think is great.
Absolutely. Yeah. And they're
Absolutely.
limited edition, so I mean, be one of the few that get ones.
Yeah, I mean, we have a bunch of them right now. I mean, we have limited edition ones for our 15-year anniversary, which was last week, which was, a great thing, 15 years that we've been doing this. And this was the keychain that we had. And a whole bunch of PSWs actually received this, and a whole bunch of them wanted it, and it's cute as can be
So
in
cute.
it. And the bum jiggles, jiggle, the bum jiggles. Anyways, it was cute as can be. But yeah, I mean, this, I think this was a really good PSW podcast. We wanted to end on something a little bit more positive than, talking about the insurance and what could happen and what could go wrong.
We just to jump in, Miranda, if I may. Also, the timing is not immune. This is the first day of summer. I mean, we're going to be out doing things a lot more. There's going to be more expectations on PSWs to be covering more shifts. So we just want to make sure that you, before summer starts, that you're at least aware of this risk. So.
And also, too, guys, in the summer, I know that you guys don't want to work weekends if it's a beautiful weekend. You don't want to do those things. But remember, not only do your fellow colleagues rely on you to show up for shifts, but so do the people under your care. So,
Yes.
you get into healthcare. That's just something that you just got to do. You can take a break between clients when you have a break and lay on the hood of your car in order to get some sun. But we appreciate you and we understand the difficulties and the sacrifices that each of you make, especially over the summer when it's beautiful outside, to continue doing this essential care for Ontarians. So you guys will see a lot of appreciation coming out of OPSWA over the summer weeks. And remember, we're always around. And if you don't have liability insurance, really, please, for the love of God, look into getting it for yourself. You do not have to go through us. This is not an advertisement for OPSWA. This is about you protecting you as a PSW, and not just yourself, but protecting those you care for. So your families, your spouse, your partner, whoever, because they can all be affected by it if you do not have your own professional liability insurance. But if you do want to look into what we do,
Well, join
join OPSWA.
is it off?
So so go to www.opswa.ca, click on memberships. All of our memberships are listed there. And all of our memberships come with a minimum of $2 million professional liability insurance and 50,000 abuse coverage. And we just had someone ask, I belong to the OPSWA, so does this mean I'm insured or is this separate? No, if you're a member of the association, not a student member, but if you are a PSW member, entrepreneurial member, and international, you can tell it's Friday, international PSW member, if you're an affiliate member, you have insurance.
You're safe.
So you're safe. So reach out to us with any questions. info@opswa.com. Check us out, www.opswa.ca. Ian.
Contrary to we're not going anywhere this summer, so we're here all summer. So just an FYI, there'll be more podcasts. So we're not
every Friday.
It's not a summer break for us. So
no, it's not. So stay tuned in. Make sure that you tune in every Friday 11 when you can. Obviously, Carly, our marketing director, who's currently on vacation, will be back Monday, so you'll be able to view this again live or video next week. But with that, I'm going to say thanks very much, everyone. Thanks for letting us ramble, even though it's a Friday and everyone's tired. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. You stay hydrated, stay cool. And with that, I'm going to say, Ian, thank you.
Miranda, OPSWA out.
And OPSWA out.